Welcome to Washington. I'm Ashley Burke with the National Mining Association, and you're watching NMA TV. This is an episode of Mining Matters. I am joined today by Sophie from Florence Copper. Sophie, how are you doing today?
I'm doing very well, Ashley. Excited to be here in DC, and thank you for having me.
I am so excited to hear more about Florence Copper. Tell me about the project.
Florence Copper is a copper producer located in the town of Florence. So we're in the historic copper corridor, but we are definitely not your traditional copper mining operation.
So tell me more about that. What's different?
Absolutely. So Florence Copper is an in-situ copper recovery project. If you actually go out and see our site in person, basically looks like an empty field with a couple pieces of equipment sticking out of the ground. And we're actually able to dissolve the copper molecules below ground, pull a liquid copper-rich solution back above ground for processing through a series of wells, and send that liquid copper-rich solution to a plant where we plate it into solid form once again using electricity, creating our final product at Florence Copper, an LME grade A copper cathode. And that really does bring a lot of benefits in the sense that the in-situ copper recovery process doesn't require large-scale blasting, it doesn't require hauling millions of pounds of rock, there's no major earth movers, no tailings, no haul trucks, no really traditional mining activity, and that brings a lot of water and energy savings and a lot of cost savings as well.
So at the end of the day, if you're an observer who doesn't know a lot about mining, it's just less disturbances on the surface level, is that right?
Absolutely. Very, very, very limited footprint.
Okay. So I recently saw in the news, I think, a major milestone that you all have experienced. Can you tell me about that?
We definitely have experienced a very exciting milestone, not just for Florence Copper, but for our nation as a whole. We recently harvested our first copper cathode from our commercial facilities at the end of February of this year. And this is exciting not just for us as a project, but also for our nation, because Florence Copper represents the first new major source of copper from a greenfield operation in the United States in over a decade, since 2008.
Okay.
And so we are incredibly excited to be producing refined copper here in the United States for U.S. manufacturers from our facility in Florence, Arizona.
Wow, that's great for everyone, for the company and all of us. So what are you most excited about as this project gets up and running?
So in the near term, very excited to see us continue to ramp up our production. Right now we're focused on ramping up to hit our nameplate capacity of 85 million pounds of copper per year. Looking to the medium longer term, Florence Copper is the world's first greenfield in-situ copper recovery operation. And I am very excited to say we are very excited to see potential other opportunities to apply this technology in the United States and ramp up domestic production. So that's a longer term goal, but one that we're very excited about as well. And then if I can end on a personal note, I live 11 minutes from our site in Florence, and I've been with the company for about 4 years now. When I started, we had about 35 employees. We're now up to over 200. The majority of the folks that we've hired have been local Pinal County, Arizona residents. And on top of that, we have a charitable foundation that's given over $225,000 since 2013. We have a scholarship program that gave $20,000 just this year alone. And I want to emphasize that all of this has been done before we've reached that nameplate capacity, before we've kind of fully expanded into commercial operations. So as we expand as a local, I'm so incredibly excited to see how we can grow our positive impact.
Well, congratulations. I mean, this is really a great story about supply chains in the U.S. coming from domestic mines. It's a great story about job creation, and it's a great story about working with communities. So I appreciate you stopping in today and meeting with us and sharing your story and the company's story, and congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Of course. That's your episode of Mining Matters today. We hope you'll follow us on the National Mining Association's channels as well as on Minerals Make Life for more on what matters in mining.